I bought 10 companies is a complete lie, and I'll tell you how I know. So I've been in business acquisition going back 15 years, since before I went to HBS. And what I'll tell you is that when people are buying businesses, what are they doing with their time? They're maximizing the cash flow coming out of these businesses. But we're in this age where nobody checks anything, and big lies on social get big followers and engagement. So everybody's saying, I did not buy a business, I bought 10. But it's baloney. So if someone bought 10 businesses and they had equity interest in 10 businesses, what would they be doing with their time? Growing those businesses. When you say I bought 10 businesses, but what you're selling is a class primarily, what you're saying is I need to lie to you to tell you I did 10 deals so that I have a credential sufficient for you to join my class. But I don't spend any time on my 10 companies, but because you're a first-time buyer, you don't quite understand how crazy that is. So Elliott, how are you different? The reality for me is that I bought businesses as a private equity professional with others. I bought them as an independent sponsor, but I didn't have any real equity in them. But when I tried to do a self-funded search, I failed. The only reason why I was able to start Guardian, the only reason why I'm able to do a masterclass and a mastermind is because I did not buy any businesses by myself where I own 100% of the equity. Because if I did, I would not be on this video talking to you about strategies and business buying tips and all the rest. I'd be maximizing my cash flow. So when you see these folks toss out these big numbers about, 5 businesses, 6 businesses, this, malarkey. Who are the worst offenders? By far the worst is Mr. Ben Kelly. Mr. Ben Kelly talks about, oh man, I bought 6 businesses. I spent 1 hour a decade on them. And I got this cash flow coming extra and it's passive. This kind of stuff that he's doing, this is baloney. There's no possible way. And I could go into more specific knowledge that I have about how those businesses are doing, but I won't. But I'll tell you what I do know. He spends an awful lot of time marketing that gosh darn class for a guy that owns 6 businesses and only spends an hour a month, a decade in them. It just gets to be really facetious. I mean, we joke about him in all kind of circles that I'm in, and it's just kind of irrelevant, but it's the kind of thinking that you guys need to have. And then, my favorite, Walker Dybel. Oh, it was 6 first, now it was 10 after, and now I think it's 15 businesses, and look what I learned. Why was Walker a sell-side broker after buying 15 businesses? Do you know any other sell-side brokers that have 15 businesses? Do you go into business brokerage after buying $15 million businesses? Do you start a class after buying $15 million businesses? Has he ever named the 15 businesses that he bought? I think you see where this is going. Now, the best-selling book, you got to give it to him for that, but don't believe because somebody has a best-selling book that everything else they say is true as well. Everything about business buying is about being discerning about crazy facts that people will lie to you about. And so as much as the EBITDA in a business is one place you definitely need to be careful, you also need to be careful about the espoused credentials of these charlatans and fake gurus that to sell you the class the way they want to, they have to say I bought 10 or 15 businesses, but anybody you know that has 10 or 15 businesses ain't teaching a class. And putting my dirty laundry out here, the only reason I'm here, and if you know my story, I was early in self-funded search back in 2014 and 15, and the market wasn't as robust. And so I failed in my self-funded search. And what I'm actually teaching in my class is what I've seen in 10 years of being an advisor in the deal world after being a business buyer. But the only reason that I'm here is because I don't have 10 businesses. And in fact, the only reason why I'm able to invest time on a one-on-one basis with my mastermind clients is because I'm not worried about the equity or the debt on 10 businesses. Because I promise you, if I had a big note to the bank every month, I'd be paying attention to that.